Well, good evening. Welcome to Thursday evening devotions from around the kitchen table. We're glad you're viewing with us and sharing this devotion this evening. We've been talking about women of the Bible for many weeks now, for quite a few weeks. Some of these women were very prominent characters in their culture in their day. Others were just poor, ordinary people. Some of them were slaves. Some of them did duties that we wouldn't even think about doing. Some of them had some wonderful names. Some of them had no names. We only know them because of their title or position as to whatever their position was in life. So the story we're going to talk about, or the woman we're going to talk about tonight, her story is found in Luke's Gospel, chapter 2, verses 36 through 38. Her name is Anna. Anna, there's not much written about her. She's only found in Luke's Gospel, and so we don't know a whole lot about her. They're just two verses about her. But I find that even though we don't know much about her, we can tell a lot about her just from these two verses that he's written. And I find that as we enter this Advent season, Advent is a time of waiting and watching for the coming of Christ. One is coming the first time, and two is coming to us now, and his continual comings, and his coming in the future as well. And so Advent for us is a time of waiting and watching. And so Anna is an example for us of waiting and watching and being patient and trusting God. So during this Advent season, I find that she's very much a part of this Advent season, or the Christmas story as well, as we are waiting and watching for Christ to come again, because she was waiting for Messiah to come the first time and to see God's promise fulfilled. Anna is an example for us, along with Simeon, who was along in years as well, of those who wait and watch patiently for the Lord to return and to fulfill his promise. Dr. Luke writes this short biography of Anna, whose name means favor or grace. Now, it's a Phoenician name, and it means the same as Hannah. But in her biography, it mentions not her husband's name or her mother's name, but it mentions her father's name, called Phanuel, Phanuel, and it means the face or the appearance of God. Just by their names, it sounds like they were a godly family, a very devout family. Doesn't it? I mean, that's how they named people back then. They gave them names that would glorify God. Now, Phanuel, we don't know a lot about him either, but it's said that he was from the tribe of Asher, which was one of the so-called lost tribes of Israel. Anna and Hannah, as I said a moment ago, they both mean grace or favor. They're very popular girls' names, especially Anna's name is very popular. It's said that I was reading that there was like 500,000 girls just in the United States alone with the name of Anna. So it is indeed a very popular name. Now, Anna of Luke's Gospel here was married for 7 years, we're told. Now, we don't know what age she was married, but she was married 7 years, and then her husband died. And then she just turned all of her attention to the Lord then. And we're told that she remained a widow. Now, some versions say she remained a widow until she was 84. Others say that she was a widow for 84 years. In either case, she would have been along in years in her day as well. That was getting up there in their day. That day, women only lived to be about 25 years old, 24 years old. So after the death of her husband, she just turned to God. She stayed in the temple day and night, serving God, praying to God, fasting, worshiping. Day and night, she would not leave the temple. She didn't want to be any place else other than in God's presence and serving Him. That's all she was concerned about, trusting and waiting and watching for the promised Messiah to come. The Messiah, Jesus, God's salvation to the world. Well, her seat in the temple was never empty because she never left. She stayed there day and night. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if we could just stay in the temple day and night and never leave? Now, Anna is also designated as a prophetess, which means, the word prophetess, it means to proclaim a divine message. And Anna was given the word of the Lord to know events both before and after. And she was one through whom God spoke, to let her know, to tell the people that Messiah was on his way. On the 8th day of Jesus' life, his parents, Mary and Joseph, brought him to the temple to have him sanctified and dedicated to the Lord as was required by the law. And Anna saw them then, and she gave thanks to the Lord, knowing that she had seen the salvation of the Lord, and like Simeon, that she could now die in peace after seeing God's salvation. She began speaking about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Israel, the city of peace. Now, in our lives, we oftentimes get upset, don't we? We're tense people. Especially, there's a type A personality and a type B and a type C. You may be familiar with those, but the type A personalities really are tense people, and they really get upset. You know, they get upset. They have to get to the airport to find out and be the first ones to find out that the airplane's been canceled first. You know, they don't use microwave ovens because they cook too slow for them, or they get upset because there's not a passing lane in the car wash. Tense people. You've seen them. Perhaps we have a little bit of that in ourselves, where we get impatient and we get tense, and things just don't move along fast enough. Anna, for us, is a wonderful example for us to keep on trusting God, to take Him at His word, to obey Him, to continue waiting and watching for His return, to come back just as He said He would, to keep on praying and fasting and worshiping Him at every opportunity we have. It's like the Apostle Paul said, pray continually, worship continually in our hearts. So as you make your preparations for Christmas, I hope you will remember Anna's story. Because as we make preparations for Christmas, we get uptight at times, don't we? It takes a great deal of patience sometimes as we prepare to celebrate Christmas with family and friends, and whoever else we might be. So I hope you'll include Anna's story in your celebration. Merry Christmas to you.